Hello, good people. Thanks for joining me again. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Ann, and on my channel, I review foreign shows. You know what I usually say, right? We travel around the world sitting on our couches. How fun is that? You never know which country we're gonna end up next. Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ann, and on my channel I review foreign international content. Today I'm back to review another excellent series, our beloved Summer from South Korea. Who else has been watching, right? Who else has been watching? Oh my God, what a sweet story, if you will. If you were looking for something lighthearted, romantic, oh, it was so good. I also loved that there was a theme to the series. I felt like each character had, abandonment issues that they had to overcome, right? For anyone who hasn't been watching, today was the last episode, so you can binge the whole series. Is out. It's just fantastic. And actually, I love the two actors. We saw Kim Dami right here. I loved her in Itaewon Class. It was interesting to see her in a more of a romantic role, because in Itaewon Class, and by the way, I reviewed that, so if you wanna check that out, check that link up there. She was this badass girl, had this two-tone hair color that I loved. So it was kind of nice to enjoy her in like a more softer role, more intense emotionally, and more, she's hard, but she's soft. That was it was so nice to see her. And then obviously we have Choi Woo-shik. And if you have watched Parasite, Parasite, I believe, won an Oscar for the movie. He was in it. He played the son. I just loved these two together. Their chemistry was so good. I loved how the story was. They started off in, I think it was in high school. They're doing this documentary, and she is like strong, very smart, focused, knows what she wants, and it's one of those girls you're like, she is bound to succeed, right? And then he's just goofing off and like whatever, and she just drove her crazy. And that became really the fun in watching the two of them. And then obviously this is put online, and everybody just loves to follow them and watch them. And obviously then they grew up, and now the producers are back again. And I'm like, can we follow them and found out what happened to them? And then obviously we did find out while they were in the high school, they did end up, getting close. The relationship was romantic. They break up, but it's like, why did you break up? So when they come back as adults, it's just like fighting, constant fighting. And then what was interesting is now he's more successful than she is. And here she was the one who was always like the one who read books and was serious at school, and he goofed off and became a famous artist. And she works at an office. I mean, she's got a good job as well, but he has become famous and makes a lot of money and things like that. So that was interesting. And so the whole series, obviously, as a viewer, we're all like, so what happened? And then we also want to find out, would they ever go back together? Which, by the way, episode 11 was everything. Oh, I'm not gonna say what happens in episode 11 in case you haven't watched. I don't want to do spoiler, but to me, I love episode 11. It was just fantastic to see things coming together. And then it was interesting because I felt like they also explored all of the characters' issues. For example, we found out that although he has parents right now, they're adoptive parents, so he was abandoned by his dad. And by the way, that scene where they show him as a small boy in the middle of the streets, and you have grown-ups just walking by, and this child is stuck in the middle of the street crying, and I'm thinking, are you serious right now? Are you guys not seeing this child who looks lost crying. People are just walking by the child. And I thought, what a crazy scene. Like, I would think as human beings, especially as adults, if you saw a child by themselves crying, most of us would be like, hey, what's wrong? Did you lose mom? Or can we help you? Or I don't know, call the police. This child is lost. That scene was so disturbing. Like, you got adults just walking by, like, and this child is crying, like, I don't know what happened to my dad. He disappeared and I'm lost. Have mercy. That was really heartbreaking. And then obviously we told of her story where she lives with grandma and she's always felt like she was never enough because obviously her parents died when she was younger. So obviously was raised by grandma, had a hard time making friends and just felt like she never belonged. So she has to deal with that. I also thought it was interesting on the character of Kim Ji-woon, who is like his best friend. They went to school together. I love that there was some sort of like a love triangle going on and he had a crush on her. She never knew. And then, oh my God, his story with his mother would leave him at home as a little kid to fend for himself. Like just leaves him with money and she is gone all day and comes in the way at night, like midnight. The one scene where he's like waiting for mom and just trying to fall asleep, but he's like, I gotta stay awake to see mom. And then when she comes in, she's just like, why didn't you fall asleep? To call for food. And as a small child, he had to grow up real fast. And then even it progressed, even in adulthood, the mother would come and go and just, you could tell the mother had a tough life, but the way she just shut her child out was so heartbreaking. And I'm glad that obviously as, you know, they were wrapping things up, that they do address that issue and you have to watch. So that was interesting to watch, but what a fantastic show. I wanted to jump on here and say, hey, if you want to watch something lighthearted, romantic, kind of funny, it's a romantic comedy, you have to watch Our Beloved Summer. Tell me down below what you think, but I absolutely enjoyed every episode. I'm actually kind of a little bit sad to see it go away, but it was really nice to see. It would be nice if they can do season 2. I mean, totally they can do season 2 where they follow them in their next life, if you know what I mean. If you watched episode 16, you know what happens to them. So clearly, if they wanted, they could do a second season easily and keep following them in their journey. Just because their show, people love to follow them and see what became of them, right? Anyway, if you love my video, give me a like, subscribe. It does help to support my channel. And by the way, if you're watching Bulgur Saul, please join me. I'm reviewing that every week, every Sunday. I try to review that. This coming Sunday, I'm coming to review, I believe we're at episode 13 and 14. We're looking for answers because last week we had too much information and no answers. Once again, thank you so much for joining me and I'll see you again on Sunday. Deuces.